All right, everybody, how's it going? I hope the audio sounds good. I'm using my webcam right now because it's a little bit easier to use than my phone. So hopefully the quality comes out well enough. Today we're gonna be doing an action figure review. This time we're gonna be taking a look at the super action statue Jolyne Cujoh. Oops. And the super action statue Stone Free. Again, this is by, I think this is Medicos. From their Super Action statue line. These figures are somewhat old, but they do get constant re-releases because, you know, JoJo is eternal, JoJo is life. But I figured with the advent, or rather the premiere of the Stone Ocean anime, it'd be a good time to review these. I got these super cheap actually at plazajapan.com. If you look at them anywhere from Big Bad Toy Store, I think is doing pre-orders for $94.99, and Amazon has it on for like $104 or even $300 or so dollars. But Plaza Japan actually has these figures for $57, so come get them if they are still available. Shipping is a little bit higher, but even like looking at where I could have purchased them, considering that a total of like buying these two was gonna be run me like a total of $104 plus shipping was around, I think it ran me up to 130, 140, was still like $60 cheaper than anywhere I could have gotten it. So plazajapan.com, straight from Japanese retailers. They even package everything with like Japanese newspapers, which is really interesting to me. And they gave me this little eraser, something that is also neat. Not part of the review, but I just thought it'd be fun. Anyway, we're gonna be taking a look at these figures. We're gonna start with Stone Free. Comes in this nice blue packaging. I also apologize if like the focus kind of takes a second to get going. I barely took them out of the packaging. It's already getting a bit dusty. Already getting very dusty, actually. That didn't help at all. It just says SF. Maybe because Stone Free is like copyrighted or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was too long. I can't imagine that because Star Platinum box had Star Platinum all over it. On the back, you just have some poses you can put Stone Free in, the stand, and all the different hands that she comes with. Also, the different faces. Anyway, let's get her open. Set that down on the ground for now. On the back, you just get the standard JoJo stand. It says JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the stand, or more specifically, some instructions on how to handle your Stone Free. It's written in Japanese, so I can't read it. Pretty simple box. I actually really like the way that the Stone Super Action statues have a lot of flair to it, but are also somewhat simplistic. You know what I mean? So I enjoy that very much. Anyway, here she comes. And look at that. She comes in this really nice blue color. Bits of metallic dry brushing on it just to give it some shading, like all across down here, across the chest, across the arms. The joints feel really nice. Like they're not like stiff, but they are not incredibly loose. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm worried about breaking them. I say right before I break a joint. Hopefully not. That does feel weird though, this one. That does feel weird. Anyway, Stone Free's design is pretty simple, honestly. It's mostly like a blue. It comes off. I don't know if it's because of the tint I have on my monitor right now, but she comes off as a little bit more blue than in real life. She's a bit more cooler than that. But you can see the translucent glasses on her. Really nice paintwork on everything. The little strings you can see peeking out from her head. This, I don't know what you would call this, kind of like golf ball texture is really nice on the shoulders as well, where you can see the strings coming out of the side also. Everything is really well made. Again, it's stiff, but not like so stiff that it feels like I'm gonna break it. You know what I mean? Except for this one, honestly. This one feels a little bit weird, whereas this one feels a bit more malleable. That might need some more work, but so far, figure feels pretty good. You know, pretty decent. There's not really much to say. Excellent. I'm surprised at how well the paint is, considering all these little silver dots going on across the body. You can even see more of the strings back there on her back and on the back of the legs right here. It's really nice. Nicely painted. I don't see anything just at a first glance, although again the paint is pretty simple, so it's kind of hard to notice if there is going to be something wrong with the sculpt. Let's get this stand opened up so I can have her standing. Again, oh, I guess there's a defect on the stand, and so you can't even see it. It's just like slightly scuffed. Jojo no Kimono Boken, I think is what it says. I can only read the top part. The stands actually come apart, so you can put I can put Jolyne's stand with a little peg on the other half, so you can have both stands on the same stand, which we might give it a shot. But I think that's a cool feature, and it's not something you see in most figures. It's very stylish, very JoJo. But put that in right there. It's not a very deep hole in the back of Stone Free right here, so it's not really much room for you to peg that in there. But you can see it's pretty decent. It doesn't feel loose at all. I can get that situated right there. Sorry if you can. I don't think you can hear that, but there you go. There you go. As far as her accessories, she just comes with a multitude of hands. Do I wish she came with some string accessories? Probably. But she comes with, on the box, as you can see, she comes with her fisted hands. Again, pretty nice detail. If my thing will focus on it. Will it? There you go. Like the camera, the color correction's trying its hardest. But really nice detail on the hands. She comes with two of these kind of cupped hands, I guess you would call it. Like the fingers are all together and they're kind of like cupped together like that. I don't know how you'd call that. She comes with a left hand and a right hand of that. She comes with two open palm stretched out hands. Will you focus? No? I guess not. There you go. So there's that. She also comes with oh, that's weird. She comes with two of these. Oh, I guess another set of like even more stretched out hands. These are like open all the way out. And I know I'm only showing you the left hand, but she comes with a right hand for all of these except for this pointing finger, in which case she only has the right hand for this one. I'm trying to figure out a way to do this, but it's not working. The color correction's trying very hard to fight it. You can see that. And again, the sculpt work on these are all really great. I don't see any defects on any of them. Like then again, I don't really have a lot of time to look at them. I just literally opened this, but yeah, pretty decent. I think I haven't seen any defects so far, but I'll update you guys in the comment section if I see anything. The only other accessories she comes with is a couple of head sculpts. One of them appears to be a screaming head. It comes with another set of shades on it. Look at that. You can see like the teeth and the mouth and everything. Really nice detail in that. Again, I don't see any defects on any of that. And she also comes with a set with different shades. I think this is her like I don't remember what this head is. If that's like her first appearance or something like that. I don't remember what this head is from. But I'll have to look that up. But yes, the glasses itself is not translucent. Actually kind of is. I think if I shine light strong enough on that, you can see. You might be able to see. No, it's very hard to tell. I guess if I shine it like that. But that doesn't really help you guys at all. But just know that the purple shades are translucent. It's just much darker tinted. It's cool, but I do like the green. I do like the green glasses that she has now. So we're gonna put all that stuff away for now and take a look at Stone Free's Articulation. The super action statues are, as the name implies, super articulated, but they do tend to sacrifice style for articulation a bit more, which for the JoJo figures I don't really mind, but they are still, you still can get them into a wide range of motions, which is nice for a JoJo figure considering the amount of crazy poses you want to put them in. The head is attached on a ball hinge, so you can actually get a little bit of attitude with the hand right there. The ball sits on the neck on a ball joint, and the ball joint is attached to a hinge, so you can put the head all the way forward like that, or all the way back like that, so you can get her all the way up like this. The neck is attached to the body with what appears to be a double ball joint, like a ball I think going inside of the neck and then a ball going inside of the torso, attached by a pivot, similar to the way that these elbows work. Sorry, I'm just making sure it's in the frame, but I think it's similar to the way that this elbow works, and that there's a ball joint coming into the neck and a ball joint coming into the torso, to get you just a little bit range of motion right there. Not really necessary considering the amount of range, but you do get a bit of give for that, so that's really nice of them to do. The shoulders are attached on a swivel. You can't really get a lot of range from that because of the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads are a little bit malleable, but not quite as much as you would want it to. It's pretty hard. The bicep is attached on a swivel. The elbows are attached on a double ball joint, so you can get it all the way up like that. The wrist, you saw me playing with it a little bit, but it's attached on a ball hinge swivel, so you can orient the hand whichever way you want, and you can get some up and down or side to side movement for that. But you notice that I was having some trouble with the other one. I went with this one also, actually. So I'm gonna try to mess with that off camera. Looks like the upper part of the torso or the chest is attached to the rest of the body on a ball joint. So is the waist. So is the bottom part or the belly attached to the waist. I wish this floating piece was a harder material, but I can understand why. Actually, no, I can't, because it's literally just a floating piece on top of some articulation. That should have been softer to give us more give, because then you can't really move the legs back without moving it to the side. But anyway, the legs can go back that much, can go forward this much. It's not really much of a problem for Stone Free, considering she's basically just a naked body. But for more complicated characters, I can see where that might pose an issue. The legs being attached on ball joints kind of makes it harder for it to go out, but you can see forward and back is really nice. The thigh is actually attached on a ball joint, or sorry, on a swivel, so you can actually swivel the legs side to side. The legs, the knee bends at 2 points. You can go all the way this much, and the foot is attached on a ball hinge, similar to the wrist, so you can get that nice forward to back motion, but I think I can actually also change that, orient that a bit to the side a bit more. And because it's bigger, it's a bit easier for me to mess around with and get that nice ankle pivot going. And there's a toe joint. Nice little toe joint. Goes up that much. With these super action statues, it's really hard to judge them by themselves. You kind of have to buy them in sets. It reminds me of this one time when Bionicle decided, hey, you know, it'd be cooler than buying just the Toa if they made you buy Emma Torin with it. And it's kind of what it feels like, honestly. And it works sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. But for the JoJo figures, I think that some of them are kind of incomplete without another guy standing behind them. So you have Stone Free right here. Let's take a look. Let's put her away. Let's take a look at Jolyne. Oh, I don't actually know where to put this because I'm running out of room here. Anyway, let's look at Jolyne Cujoh. So her box is a bit more green. It comes a bit more dull in the recording, I can see, but it's a bit more vibrant green. On the back, you get some nice pictures of Jolyne and any poses you can have her in. All the accessories that she comes with, and the stand and the different faces she comes with. I hope that they release a version of her in the anime colors. Not that I mind the blue-green contrast, I just personally like the black and yellow. Anyway, put that away. Or throw that on the ground, rather. Like the other one, you get some instructions on how to handle your Jolyne Cujoh. Get a figure stand. Let's open that up right now, actually, so we can have it ready. Oh, it's perforated. I didn't even know. I could have just torn it. Okay. And like Stone Free, her stand just says JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And like I said, these can come off so you can have them together, and we'll take a look at that later. But for now, let's put that off to the side. Unlike Stone Free, though, she comes with an extra tray of like accessories, which are basically just weird fleshy colors, and I still think it's weird. I've seen videos of this before, and I'm like, ugh. Where like the stringies are like the same flesh color, and even in the colored version of the manga, it wasn't like that. It was like straight up looked like spider silk. But for whatever reason, they made these flesh colored, which I don't know how I feel. They do feel very fragile. This is one of her accessories, which is her hand with the strings coming off of it. See if I can turn the light down a little bit so you guys can see that a bit better, maybe. Or maybe not. There you go. So she comes with that. She comes with a couple of like string accessories. My bad. I forgot the camera was attached on a string. Haha, a string. I meant a cord. A couple of these accessories are meant to hook onto Jolyne's finger. This one is going straight. This one is going like straight down, I think. It's meant to imply that it's going straight down, because it's kind of angled in such a way, but I think this one is also... Oh no, this one is meant to be angled straight down, because she's kind of just like letting it go, because of the way that the little loop is angled. You're supposed to put it around one of her fingers. This one is like she's like throwing it or something like that. She's like launching it forward. But she also has another hand accessory, which is where her entire hand has become a web, and she's launching it forward. I don't like these. They feel fragile, and I guess for a character like Jolyne, you can't really get away from it. But, I don't think I want to mess around with it too much, so I'm gonna immediately put them away, actually. If you'll just give me a second to do that. Before I knock the camera down again. Oopsies. I guess if you wanted to paint them a different color, you wouldn't really have that hard of a time doing so. But I still wish they didn't come like that. I don't like it. Don't like it. Anyway, let's put that away. Let's take a look at Jolyne. Oof. Her entire tray just exploded. Anyway, here we have Jolyne Cujoh wrapped up in plastic. How do I get this out without like just tearing the plastic off? I guess you really can't. Alright, well that's one. Okay. Not too difficult actually. I'm always worried that I'm gonna leave a little bit of plastic in there every single time, but it's usually never the case. Still I worry and I fear. Anyway, let's turn the light back up. And here's Jolyne. It's got really nice sculpt, really nice paint, really nice shading everywhere. Actually, you see how it kind of like stretches out and like becomes lighter on the thighs. The paint work is really well. The shading around the hair is really nice also. The hair is not as soft as I want it to be, but it is made of a softer material, so it's not going to get in the way for articulation too much. But I think the sculpt work on this is really nice. The paint detail is really nice as well. I've never really had an issue paint wise with Super Action Statue. I feel like they have pretty good quality control on that. I don't know if this is meant to be sideways, but it is. It looks like it is. So I guess it is supposed to be kind of blowing in the breeze, I guess, or maybe she's supposed to be like kind of giving you attitude with her hips. I don't know, man. It does look like her her waist is like a little bit askew, but I don't know if that's the case or not, because it's kind of hard to move her waist around. Anyway, yeah, similar to Stone Free, it's just kind of really nice. I like that the blue matches between them, and maybe that's why they went for this kind of color scheme for Jolyne, because I know even during the colored run they went with the black and blonde Jolyne. I think a bit more greenish, but still kind of like not blue. Even if they went with the green hair, I think they went with a lighter green, almost yellowish, and then a darker blue, almost black, which is why I assume why they went like with those colors for the anime. But you can see in some of the more intricate details, such as the little such as the heart tattoo that she has here. I wonder if my camera will focus on it. I doubt it, but we'll see if it'll comply with me. I don't really know how to. Let's see if I can mess with that. Okay, there you go, it focused. In the middle of me clicking on it, but yes, you can see in the little heart statue or heart tattoo that she has there, and then the little heart emblem she has on her chest right here. You can see all the different colors on there, even the little Joestar belly button piercing that she has down there, and the little Joestar tattoo that is visible on only her, I think. Because of how little clothes she wears, she's the only one that's main character design has that visible on her at all times. Looks really well. You know, I think that it's really easy to. Oh well, look, we missed one. There's a paint chip, not a paint chip, but there's a blue on there that's not supposed to be there. 0 out of 10. Just kidding. I don't mind that. I do mind the fact that she's a little bit askew. And I think... Yeah, no, I think she's just a little bit weird. I think I just need to fix that. Because you can see, like, they kind of sculpted her underwear just a little bit. I guess to accommodate for, like, moving her waist around. But that's weird. Just fucking... There you go. Just a little bit hard to move her around. Okay, there you go. That's better. That was gonna bother me the entire video if I didn't get that right. Anyway, I guess one last thing to look at would be her face, if one day you will cooperate with me and focus. Please. There you go. I guess I'll just leave that on for now. There you go. You can see her eyes and like the way that the eyes are sculpted over. Looks really, really nice, I think. Although there is some weird thing with the sculpt that's really hard to notice. You can actually kind of see it's coming off her mouth there, you see, a little bit, and on the nose as well. It's a little bit hard to notice, but it's there, and I saw it, so I noticed. But anyway, I think it's a really nice sculpt for Jolyne. Though I wish it was anime accurate, yes, but considering this was made way before the anime even happened, I can excuse it not being anime accurate. Back when Stone Ocean was a glint in the eyes of David Production. We're gonna put her down there for now. We're gonna take a look at some of her accessories. Should be easier now that I configured the little focus that I found here. So she comes with two of these kind of open hands. Oh, and they've all got like the green fingernails on them, which is something that every reviewer has pointed out. Yes, she does come with every fingernail painted, which is nice detail. She comes with this gesturing hand, which has two fingers pointed up. I guess it's kind of like throwing a web. I think this is for one of the web throwing hands. She comes with another hand, which has the one finger, like I said, it's the one finger with like the little string hanging off of it, but also just a nice gesturing pointing hand. And she comes with a hand which is supposed to look like it's unraveling into the web. And props to them for making this come out pretty clean. I think they might have missed it a little bit, but it's hard to tell. It's even sculpted a little bit. I don't know if you can tell that. Can I get that? Can I get that to zoom in all the way? There you go. You can even see like how it's kind of like jagged on the side where like the web is coming out of. That's pretty cool. And last but not least, we have her alternate head sculpt, which is, you know, it's just kind of angry. Not angry Jolyne, not shouting, but just kind of like, ugh, attitude Jolyne, you know? With her mouth a little bit open. I actually like this head sculpt a little bit. Let's actually put that on. Since I didn't, oh look, it is a ball joint. Since I didn't take a head out for Stone Free, let's do it for Jolyne. Don't like the way that didn't snap on, but came on. But those are all of her accessories. Oh, and she comes with a pair of fisted hands. But that came with the figure, so we'll see that once we get through the articulation. Anyway, let's get the focus all the way back out here. So, let's remove her from the stand, and let's take a look at her articulation. Similar to Stone Free, again, like you guys saw, her head is on a ball hinge joint, so you get a little bit of rotation. You can go all the way around. You get a little bit of like side to side motion. Her neck joint actually gives a bit more pivot to it, which is a bit more useful than the one that Stone Free has. So you get a bit more range on that. It does kind of make the neck articulation look a little bit weird, but similar to Stone Free, you can get her head all the way down here, but all the way up also. It is hindered by her head sculpt. And like I said, the neck has its own ball joint going into the torso. The shoulders can go up just a bit about as much as Stone Free's would, so which tells me that even if she didn't have the shoulder pad, it might have only let you go up that much anyway, just because of the way that Super Action Statue sculpts their figures. But it is attached on a ball hinge. No bicep rotation, but it does swivel at the shoulder. Double hinge at the elbow brings it all the way up. Similar to Stone Free, you get the little wrist ball hinge, which allows you to move the hand forward and back, and also up and down, or side to side, depending on how you orient it. These feel pretty fragile, and I don't want to mess with them on camera. The chest is attached on a ball joint, and the rest of the torso is attached on a ball joint down to the waist. The side-to-side motion is a little bit hard, but because of the way that her body is shaped, so the side-to-side motion is a bit harder to come by, but moving it forward and back, you don't really have any problems with that. Like I said earlier, that I wish this waist piece, which is just floating there, I wish that was a softer piece. I wish this was also a softer piece. It is a bit more malleable than I expected it, but I wish it was softer still, because it might get in the way. Her leg goes back this much. I wonder if that's the same for the other way. I guess they did orient it a little bit so that it catches inside of her leg, so I guess that's fine. You win. Goes forward, all the way forward. Swivels at the thigh. Double hinge knees. Goes all the way back, and you get the ankle pivots that you want right here, same as the wrist. Goes forward and back and side to side if you orient it. And a toe pivot, toe joint, toe hinge. Forgot what I said earlier. Toe hinge. But anyway, that's what these figures look like. I guess one last thing I can show you is the way that this works. So if you break apart the stand, right? If you break apart the stand, I can now attach it to Stone Free's stand. Oopsies. And so now I have a stand with two pegs in it. And now I can have them on the same stand, just like that. Which is cool. It's a nice little gimmick. I hope this works, because I hope I can pose them in a way that, these little stand, I don't know what you would call them, rods, don't get in the way of each other, because that's the problem I ran into with Jotaro, and I had to get an entirely new stand for him because of the way I wanted to pose them. They just kept running into each other, but we'll see. But so far, just in this little impromptu pose that I have them in, they're just kind of chilling, But anyway, a little bit of one day I'll stop dropping the camera. A little size comparison. Let me move the camera a little bit down. I'm gonna compare her with the Super Action Statue Part 4 Jotaro figure with Star Platinum. You can see she's a little bit smaller, but that's normal. You can see Star Platinum is also much bigger, but that's because he's a big bulky guy. But you see they scale well with each other. I think the detail in them are consistent. I think Super Action Statue does a really great job with their figures. So, great job on their part. Another figure I can compare them with is the 1000 Toys Nero figure. He's a little bit taller because he's on a bigger stand, but you can see they scale. She's a little bit smaller regardless. Actually, she scales somewhat the same. Sure, her build is a bit smaller. I'll say that much. But I'll chalk that up to art style change. And speaking of art style change, I can compare her with the Figma Persona 5 Makoto Nijima. Actually, they scale pretty well with each other. She's a bit more muscular, but you know, Makoto is supposed to be 16 years old. I think Jolyne is supposed to be 18 or 24? I don't remember. Here she is standing next to the Bring Arts Sora figure by Square Enix. And just to compare her with an American figure, here she is with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Star-Lord figure. And the Hasbro figures do run a bit taller than the rest of their line. Actually, let me grab something else. Here. Also Hasbro, but the Mandalorian figure. So you can see that they're kind of Mando's a little bit smaller, but scales a bit better with Jolyne, I guess. And just for fun, here's the Best Action Aang figure. But anyway, I think it's a really decent figure, and I've taken up more than enough of your time. If you're a huge fan of JoJo, especially of Jolyne, I love JoJo, and Jolyne's character design is super cool, and I love Stone Ocean so far. We'll see how the rest of the show goes. I want to read it before it premieres with the second half of the show, but I already know how it ends, so you can't even spoil me on that. I do think it's interesting, and I'm curious as to see what happens next. Everyone's favorite seems to be Steel Ball Run, so I'm curious to see how I feel about that. But before we get through that, we need to get through Stone Ocean, and so far Stone Ocean has my attention. Just also considering the fact that Jolyne's the only female main protagonist, at least so far. I'm curious to see what they do next now that JoJolion is over. From what I have been told, I think everyone loves JoJolion also, but I don't know if everyone changed their mind between part 8 and part 7, which one is their favorite from that new continuity, but we'll see. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, stay safe, take care, and peace out. Bye-bye!